It is fair to say that many people in Tower Defense Simulator really want a little bit more than what they are seeing right now. However, Below Natural has confirmed a couple of things that are upcoming in the future. Now obviously, one of those things that is upcoming is a future Halloween update, which some people have speculated could be coming October 1st. I doubt it. It does say in the event on the Roblox page that it's a Halloween announcement. It's not confirmed to be the actual thing. However, with that being said, there is such a lot of things that Below Natural has stated will come that it's hard to believe that they'll make October 1st like a throwaway update day. Now, this also comes from Below Natural on Discord saying that y'all are eating really good in October. Now, there are there are actually 5 weeks in October that fall on a Wednesday, and updates typically do fall on a Wednesday. But however, with there being an update on October 1st, it should be October 15th, and then after that, I believe October 31st, where Wednesday updates may lie. Now, with Below Natural saying this, there is a chance that there could be more than weekly updates in October, especially if the Halloween update is, as speculated, going to have more than one night or one update. And in the past, when it comes to nights in Tower Defense Simulator, they've typically updated more than once per week. So for Failed Gateway, I believe that was released on a Wednesday, but then the next update, which was the one after that, which is the Nightmare Realm, that was released 2 days later on a Friday, and then after that, Containment was also released on a Wednesday, if my memory serves me right. So in the span of a week, we've had technically 3 updates, which could happen also for the next Halloween update, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Because Below Natural also says that there's going to be more than Alter Ego, which I've talked about previously, and TDS Halloween in the month of October. However, Below Natural also addresses some things, including why the takeover event, at least perceived by many people to be quite bad. So Below Natural says that I get that the takeover event was lazy, which I'm going to be honest, we didn't put much effort into it. Now, I was talking to some developers at the Roblox Developer Conference, and I knew I knew that the takeover event was going to be lazy. I knew that the takeover events that Tower Defense Simulator had planned wasn't going to be that great, purely because they had other things on their minds. They had the Halloween event, but also they had Alter Ego to worry about. And Below Natural just confirm it here, it just wasn't worth spending a month plus of development for new enemies and stuff for just 2 weeks. In fact, it's less than 2 weeks. It was 9 days or 10 days. That's less than 2 weeks. It's 14 days. So yeah, Below Natural was absolutely right in saying this. We chose to focus the takeover on new players instead and put our resources into everything coming in October, November and December, including a Christmas update, saying other studios that put 100% into the takeover event are behind on Halloween and Christmas while we are cooking. Now, I can't really confirm the cooking part because I don't know what the updates for, I don't know the full updates for October, November, December, officially at least. Someone may have snuck me a tenner or something and told me some stuff at Roblox Developer Conference. Can't confirm nor deny, and I can't really claim on the validity of other studios putting 100% in the takeover, because from what I'm aware, not many people actually put that much effort into the takeover. But as far as Tower Defense Simulator is aware, I do agree they didn't put much effort into the takeover event, but I do accept their excuse that they had to work on other stuff, including a Halloween update and a Christmas update. And Below Natural says that, so it's to be honest, it's really good that we didn't focus on the takeover event for bigger things, which I agree with. And then Below Natural said to someone something about a Forsaken game, that Tower Defense Simulator, we talked about doing a TDS collab with the Forsaken team at the Roblox Developer Conference. Can't confirm nor deny because I don't know who the fuck is on the Forsaken team, but apparently Forsaken is a game that's very similar to the new Alter Ego. So for there to be a crossover between Tower Defense Simulator and Forsaken, that's going to be very interesting. Below Natural also says that we are working on a big economy update so that people have more stuff to do with their stock skin crates, but this is something we are planning to do for Christmas this year, not Halloween. So when I talked about crates in Tower Defense Simulator being useless, and me having like 50 of them and 15 deluxe crates, Below Natural actually kind of did listen to me. I didn't say he watched my videos or anything and just like outright did what I said, which was to perhaps like trade crates in for like consumable crates. But Below Natural has heeded the fact that people are accumulating premium crates and deluxe crates in their inventories for no reason whatsoever, because there is no skins, and there is going to be an economy update for this, which is going to be very cool. Yada yada yada. Below Natural talks about more takeover event stuff, how everyone who worked on the takeover event seriously is now behind on Halloween and Christmas, which is fair enough. Could we expect characters from Alter Ego to have their own skins in Tower Defense Simulator? Yes, not until either late this year or early next year though. So yes, there are some skins in Alter Ego which have been leaked, including one that I missed out, a Commander skin which looked like a cow. And Below Natural has confirmed that there are going to be crossover skins between Alter Ego and Tower Defense Simulator. We're currently hyper-focused on Halloween and Christmas right now, so we don't have room to work on collaboration skins. So it looks like Tower Defense Simulator and Alter Ego, despite being part of the same studio, is going to have collaborations. I don't know how that works. Below Natural also says that he's running a 4090 Founders Edition, which I find hard to believe, because last time I checked, he owns a MacBook. Remember to optimize the events a little bit. We are working on it. We'll see how the event works for that. Below Natural also responding with this sticker, I don't know why. And then Below Natural saying, is there going to be more Paintballer skins? Please answer, rework first. So, does confirm that the Paintballer rework is on the cards for Below Natural at the very least. The only problem is, what's the Paintballer going to be? Because like right now, the Paintballer is a worse version of the Demo Man, but the Demo Man only costs 100 coins more, which is double the price of the Paintballer, but that's not saying much given the fact that it only costs 100 coins and you get that much out of the tutorial anyway, just for logging in. So for what I need to see, the Paintballer needs to have like a clear distinction away from being very similar to the Demo Man. The only problem is, I don't know how you're going to do that, given that they've always occupied nearly the same niche since they were added in 2019. So we're going to have to see on that. Is this a hardcore mode, hardcore rework league? What is it? Below Natural's posting a sticker. Okay, very cool. No, but there should be some time later this year. Right, so yeah, we know that hardcore mode is going to get a rework sometime whenever. Below Natural did say that there would be more leaks last year towards the end of the year. That didn't happen. We didn't even get the Void Reaver updated model, which I can't confirm nor deny. I've seen the updated model version of the boss for hardcore mode. That's all I'm saying. Before Below Natural shoots me through halfway across the continent to get me before I leak it accidentally. Below Natural has also been tweeting some stuff, including a is cat, I think, but also something about an obscure tower. Now, I'm probably going to do a separate video on this, but this is a Mercury tower that was kinda leaked on a lay-by billboard. The problem is, I don't think it's an official tower. But then, Below Natural also reposted a Molten Ranger concept design, which is said to be a skin submission, and I'm not entirely sure if this person has actually worked on Tower Defense Simulator models before. I'm led to believe that they have, but I can't confirm this or anything. Or at the very least, their art or their models have been used by Tower Defense Simulator. Yes, they have actually. They did the Crook Boss, the Easter Crook Boss skin. Not to say that, you know, him, Below Natural, tweeting the fact that there's going to be a Molten Ranger means that there is going to be a Molten Ranger in Tower Defense Simulator. But it should be noted that, you know, if a Molten Ranger skin all of a sudden appears in, like, the premium crate as part of Tower Defense Simulator Economy Update, then we shouldn't be too surprised. Also, yes, there is a writer for Paradoxum Games who does follow me, and let's just say that I'm going to acquire something for them for, like, a fee, a massive fee, can't lie. But quite recently, Below Natural did follow them. I don't know why Below Natural did not follow them previously, but yeah, but the writer for Tower Defense Simulator, just saying. Now, I've already touched on towers that need a rework, the Paintballer being the only significant one really in the starter towers that need a rework. I'd like hazard to say that maybe the Hunter deserves a rework, but I mean, I don't think its model is hilariously outdated. It might be a little outdated, but not completely. So surely the Paintballer is like the only one in starter that really deserves a rework. Meanwhile, as for intermediate towers, really all of these towers have been recently reworked or recently added. In the case of the Assassin or the Trapper, the only tower that may deserve a redesign, not necessarily a rework, is the Pyromancer. This model has been around since 2020, and the concept is a tower that is bold, predominantly bold. That is normally from that era where towers didn't have any hair. Now, that's not to say that every single Pyromancer skin should deserve a rework, like, for example, the Pool Party Pyromancer and the Barbecue Pyromancer. I don't think they deserve a redesign at all, but certainly some other Pyromancer skins probably do deserve a redesign of sorts, because this is incredibly basic and is a little dated from when it was added in 2020. And I guess the same could be argued for the farm skin as well, given that it was added in 2020, this new design skin. I say new, the skin design from 2020, but some skins even date from before that. So for example, the arcade farm and the Christmas farm, I think the Christmas farm dates from 2019, the Christmas 2019 event, and has actually not changed, which I think makes it the oldest skin in Tower Defense Simulator, whereas the arcade farm, the tycoon farm, they originate from 2020. However, with that being said, the farm itself is not actually that outdated. I think out of all of the skins that was added in 2020, I think this is the skin, or this is the tower that least deserves a redesign, because this design is like nearly a classic. I don't think the developers should really change it. Meanwhile, as for advanced towers, all of these towers have really gotten a redesign or a rework since 2020, since the overhaul update. Now, the only tower that I could probably say hasn't is the default mortar, but I think the default mortar is fine as it is with its design, and maybe the electroshocker as well. Its design is slightly outdated, similar to the pyromancer, but I don't really see it having a complete major redesign, and I don't think I see it having a rework, given that it is pretty good and it was like reworked in its statistics quite a while ago. Meanwhile, in terms of redesign, I don't think the Warden deserves a redesign, but it surely deserves a rework of its statistics, given that, well, it's outclassed by the Assassin Tower early on, and then later on, no one really uses the Warden too much, and most people probably would use the Brawler, and there's not really too much a difference between the Warden's achievements and the Brawler achievements, given the fact that the Brawler is like the cheapest hardcore tower, whereas the Warden, you need to wait until level 25 to even beat Pizza Party now. And most people would probably wait until the Brawler tower before, if they wanted like a melee tower to use. As for all the hardcore towers, they've been recently reworked or added to Tower Defense Simulator. They don't deserve a rework or a redesign at all. Whereas if you go to event towers, the developers have mostly gotten through to reworking most of these towers. The only tower that, or the only towers that have not gotten a rework of sorts is, I believe, the Elf Camp, added in 2022 or 2023, I've forgotten, but mostly the Gladiator. The Gladiator is the only tower, only significant tower, where many people really want it to get a rework. So out of all the towers in Tower Defense Simulator, really it's only the Paintballer and the Gladiator that look hilariously out of place in both their design and their statistics. So I have a feeling that the Paintballer rework is probably the next tower that's going to get reworked. And then after that, it would be the Gladiator tower. But we will just have to wait and see if that's the case. There could be another tower. I think there are some towers that are probably going to get a little bit of tinkering in their statistics. But in terms of complete redesigns, it's only the Gladiator and the Paintballer that are the major towers remaining.